Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we are diving into one of the most exciting and upgrade coming to Polkadot 2.0, something called elastic scaling. So now if you've been for Polkadot for a while, you roughly know that parachains are a heart of its design. So each parachain is its own specialized blockchain, but they are all connected to Polkadot relay chain for security and also interoperability. So this design is powerful, but up until now it's also been pretty rigid. Parachains have a fixed slot and their throughput is limited. So that's giving every project the exact same highway lane, and no matter how much of how little traffic they have, elastic scaling changes that. So it makes Polkadot much more adaptive, much more efficient, and frankly much more future-proof. And so in this video, I will break it all down and we start with the problems why Polkadot need elastic scaling, and then I will explain what elastic scaling actually is using simple analogy. We'll go into the technical details of how it works under the hood, and finally we will look into the reward impact and what it means for builders, user, and also the future of the Web3. So let's get started. Now let's taking a look at the slide. So the thing cloud computing for the blockchain is elastic scaling. So just like Amazon Web Service, so the scale server up and down based on traffic. Elastic scaling let parachain burst into the additional block space when needed. Then scale back down when the demand drops. And a few attribute of the elastic scaling in this slide here it's proved to up to 100,000 transactions per second, multiple cores per parachain, and so pay only what you use. So for the elastic scaling, it's face the scalability challenge. Before we understand elastic scaling, let's talk about this problem. So today, Polkadot operate with the fixed amount of number of parachain slot. So each parachain is allocated a chunk of block space that we can use, and that sounds fair, but here's the catch: this allocation doesn't change, and even if demand does. So it doesn't mean if you need more traffic, you cannot scale, and also if you need less traffic, you still cannot scale, because you are allocated with the fixed amount of core when you acquire the parachain slot. So imagine a defined parachain on a quiet day, maybe it only needs 30% of its allocated throughput, but during a liquidity surge, or when a big new token launches. So it suddenly need 3 times that amount, and guess what? It doesn't get it. The block space is capped. So on the flip side, imagine a parachain with very little activity. It still has the same chunk of block space, but much of it goes unused. So this creates inefficiency, and also parachain that needs more capacity cannot get it, and parachain that don't need as much end up wasting the resources. So in other words, Polkadot today is static, and it's like renting an office building with 100 desks when your team size changes every month. So sometimes you are cramped, sometimes it's half empty, and also you always pay for the same space. And that's the core problem elastic scaling is designed to solve. Now we're gonna take a look at the cloud model of elastic scaling. So elastic scaling is the ability for the parachain on Polkadot to dynamically adjust their throughput based on the demand. And here in the slide that you can see the comparison. So in the old model, where the fixed allocations, every parachain get the same office space, and also it cannot handle a traffic spike, wasteful of resources, and insufficient and expensive. But in the new model, elastic scaling, scale up and during traffic surge, pay only for the core you use and handle up to 100,000 user instantly, scale down when traffic drops. Now we're taking a look at the model of the elastic scaling. So think of it like cloud computing. So back in the old days, company have to buy the physical server, and if your website suddenly went viral, tough luck, your server crashed. And but with cloud providers like AWS or Google Cloud, your resources can expand or shrink in real time. You only have to pay for more money for more computing on the cloud. So if 100,000 people suddenly visit your site, extra servers spin up automatically, and when traffic dies down, they shut off, and you only pay for what you use. But now here's when it gets even cooler. So elastic scaling doesn't just benefit the parachain, it also benefit the rollups and also the other scaling layer built on top of the parachain. So we have the case called Hyper-Rich, where it's built the parachain just for doing proof of validity verifications to build the bridging solutions, and Hyperbridge is also a parachain, but mainly focusing on a bridging solution. So it scale with like elastic scaling. In that way, it can help Hyperbridge to support more bridging transactions. So in short, like elastic scaling like make Polkadot like more efficient, more cost effective, and also more competitive with like other high throughput change. Here's some like proven performance in the event like called the spamming happened on like Kusama, where like it's recorded up to like 143,000 transactions per second, and the Kusama used like 23 out of the 100 cores on Kusama, and 77% capacity are available. And only like you only need like 23 cores to get up to like 100,000 transactions per second, and up to like only like 2-second latency, and 500 millisecond ultra low latency. So what this matter for like real applications? A Web3 gaming like running fine most of the time, but when they launch a new season or NFT drop, it's wanted to elastic scale, buy more cores, be more scalable at the time that the season will happen. And this also like happened with one of the case called like Mythos. Is the blockchain built by Mythical Gaming, and Mythos chain empower a lot of gaming applications on running on like Mythos. For example, we have like NFL Rivals, NFL Rivals, PUBG Party, and also like FIFA Rivals. And in that way, like Mythos need the scalability of Polkadot to support like all the gaming use cases. And also like for DeFi application, a liquidity pool seeing like a sudden spike when a new yield farm launch, so absorb like extra volume without like failed transactions, no crazy gas fee during searches of the traffic, and seamless user experience. For the real world applications, who benefit from the elastic scaling? Gaming, as we mentioned, DeFi and social, and for like the growing startup that want to start small and start and scale seamlessly and no over allocations. For a startup, you don't have like much invest, you don't have like much fund to buy like a purchase slot, which is quite expensive, and you have to raise the fund from the community. But like with elastic scaling, you can just buy for the traffic that you need. You don't need like to buy buy the resources that you don't need for your startup. For the rope and the L2, you can scaling multipliers, rope scale like parachain 10 times, and elastic scaling add more headroom. Inherited like flexibility, like roll up get elastic benefit automatically. And for the enterprise IoT, it's going to also reach to the massive scale and also a variable load. For the room of innovations of the elastic scaling, it doesn't just solve today's problems. It creates rooms for the next wave of Web3 innovations. Whether it's DeFi, gaming, rope, or something that we haven't even imagined yet, Polkadot can handle it without hitting hard selling. Before, like one of the problems when people come up with new innovations for on the blockchain is like they cannot reach to the throughput that the traditional technology can bring them, and in that way, elastic scaling allow you to do that similar to that you do that in the Web 2. And last slide. So the mission complete of like the elastic scaling is like become a part of like the three core technology as in backing, Azure core time, and elastic scaling. So alright, so let's wrap it up. Elastic scaling is a core piece of Polkadot 2.0, and it's tackles the network from being rigid and static to being like flexible and dynamic. It solves the inefficiency of fixed parachain slot. It lets like projects scale up and down based on like real demand, and it makes like Polkadot far more like competitive with other high throughput blockchains. Most importantly, it's future-proof the ecosystem, whether it's DeFi, gaming, ropes, or something that we haven't even imagined yet. Elastic scaling ensures that Polkadot can handle it. And in the next video, we will dive into like the other two pillars of like Polkadot 2.0, as in backing and Azure core time. And but for now, I hope this gives you a clear picture of why elastic scaling is such a game changer. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and also drop a comment if you have any questions or thought, and hope to see you in the next video of the Polkadot Bootcamp. And fade out.